welcome to the Lois and Lamar TV Talk Show. I'm Lois, your host for today, and my guest is none other than Andrew Bohr, who is the owner of Rocket Entertainment, where the Lois and Lamar Talk Show is filmed at. And I'm not going to take up too much time because I think he and I are going to be throwing some stuff out at each other today. And alongside him is our executive secretary, Andrail Parnell. She's happy I pronounced her name right. I usually say it wrong. So just sit still, get your coffee, get your hot chocolate, get you some snacks, and get ready to enjoy what Andrew, Andrail, and I have to say to you today. Andrew.
Thanks for having me on the show.
Welcome.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Excited and really, it's very always fascinating getting to hear different stories about different people. So.
Yes, and you guys know I'm nervous. He's my boss. He's my boss.
She's the boss today.
But you're the boss all the time, right? Tell us a little bit about yourself, Andrew.
About myself or the business in general?
About yourself, about the business,
cool.
How it all came about, the joy of it all.
So I started my business back really when I was a teenager. And I went to an overnight camp in the Poconos called Lake Owego. And I was, let's say, about 10 or 11 years old. And you know how they have like the camp dances?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't want to be part of that. I was in the antisocial club that wanted just to hide and not be part of anything. So there was one kid in my bunk, his name was Jason, and I noticed he was DJing the camp dance. And I said, wait a second, if I hang out with this kid, then I don't need to actually talk to people or dance. So I kind of just hung out with him, had the chance to see him DJing, and he was the same age. So we were like 11 or 12 years old. And he started when he was really young, and obviously it was just very basic at that time. But I started hanging with him, and I said, wow, this is really cool, being part of the music and just being involved in it. And then each year, it became a thing, and I started helping him. And then when I was about 16, I decided to buy my own speakers and laptop for DJing. And I said, you know what, I'm going to try this out. And then the rest was history. And then just, started in high school and just went right through.
So at age 12, you all started messing around with it?
Yeah, I was kind of helping Jason. I would say between 12 and like 14, 15.
And then, by 16, you were doing gigs, your own DJ thing?
Yep, I remember the first few that I did, my dad had to drive me because I didn't have my driver's license.
Amazing.
So that was the first few. And just watching the whole process evolve over the years has been the best part. It's been an incredible journey.
So you're just locked into this thing. It's been a lifelong thing for you.
Yep.
So tell me a little bit about Rocket Entertainment.
So Rocket Entertainment, when I first started, I actually, what really propelled me to get started on a professional level versus just, trying to do this for fun, was my brother was having his bar mitzvah, and my parents hired an entertainment company to do the entertainment for his bar mitzvah. So the owner of the entertainment company at the time reached out, and he saw that I had some equipment and just, trying to get into the business. And he said, oh, this looks great. You want to come and work for me? And I said, yeah, let's do it. I said, I don't really know what I'm doing. But
wow.
So that's actually where I met Ron. That's where I met Dennis, back in the day. And when I first started, I was very blessed to have the training working with another company, really teaching me exactly about music and just a lot of the ins in the business.
Right.
And just gave me a great opportunity to keep elevating and learning just different sides of different events.
Right. So you just don't only shoot music videos, you also do weddings and
Yep.
other things too. Is
Yeah,
that correct?
that was the primary start of it, was the entertainment, the DJ, and I always was fascinated with the concept of live music with a DJ. And that's, of course, when I saw Ron playing the saxophone and Dennis playing the drums. I said,
Amazing.
this is the whole vision, was the DJ with musicians.
Right.
So then we kind of started, once I moved over to the wedding side, as, you know, I kept growing the company, we started really pitching this as more of a band DJ combination instead of just a DJ business.
Right.
And then I got into more of the video side, and then figured different ways, from corporate and music videos and wedding videos, and just being able to be part of it is really special.
Have you done any films, any acting or anything like
No,
that? Voice-
but I always have found it fascinating, that cinematic style. So definitely something in the future I would love to explore.
How about any type of voiceover or anything like that?
No, but Jason has done a lot of that.
Jason's
So
done a lot of that.
I've always watched him, and it's very cool.
It's very simple, right?
Yeah.
I think it's very simple, yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, no, it's been a great journey, just being able to, I always think it's great. The big thing for me is always never knowing what type of connections that you meet in different places. And it's amazing to see that I started and met Ron playing the saxophone back in 2007. And then I've known Ron, and he's been doing all the events. And then Ron called me and said, I have somebody that needs video. And it's just an incredible introduction that I was introduced to your show. Just from Ron.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to say that because he might see this video.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that later. And it's amazing. It is really amazing, because when he told me to reach out to you, and I knew I wasn't off the phone with him for maybe like 2 or 3 minutes, and he was like, did you call the guy? He called me up and he said, did you call the guy? And I says, I'm talking with him now. He just sent me a message. So, because I call him Father Ron. That's my dad. So it was just amazing after I spoke with you, and I came in to look at the studio and to say yes or no. I was like, wow, Ron kept this from me all those years. Why did he do that?
Come on, Ron.
Why did he do that? He could no longer accommodate me for his reasons, and I'm not going to go into that. But he kept this hidden from me for 8 years.
Do you believe that?
For 8 years, so we're going to get him. We'll get him later. Andrail. Andrail is the secretary to the Lois and Lamar show, and you all just don't know what a blessing she is to me. We've been friends for I don't know how many years.
We met in church.
We met in church.
We clicked.
But there's a story I want to share about Andrail, and it's heart-wrenching. I'll never forget it. We were part of the dance ministry in church, which I'm still involved, and we were going a little bit southward to dance at another church that evening. But we stopped at, was it a Burger King we went to? Or I think it was a Burger King up on 30 to have lunch. Well, it was a little busy, and everyone was seated at their tables. Andrail and I didn't have a place to sit with the dancers. So I says, don't worry about us. We'll take this table over here. But God has a way. He has a way. So we went there to the table, she and I, and we were eating, and she looked up at me. And this gives me the creeps because a lot of people tell me this, and it's kind of eerie, but she looked up at me and she said, and I'm not going to mention the lady's name, I didn't come to that church with her. I came to that church because God told me to come to that church and find you. And I'm telling you, it took so long to hold the tears back. And I said to her, so many people
Awesome.
will send me a message saying the Holy Spirit or God told them to reach out for me, and they'll lay their burdens down. And, you know, I will talk to them about them, give them scripture to study to help them overcome that. It's, you know, I introduce them to God and His Word. But I'll never forget that day.
It's very special.
I'm sorry, Andrail. I'm sorry.
I remember that.
It was like, I was fighting back the tears. Let it flow, baby. It's okay. Let it flow. So she and I have been connected for a while. And, I mean, she's special to me. She is real. Now you got me crying. Oh, God, the whole show's turning into tears. Andrew, don't you cry.
I'm losing it too. We can all cry together.
All cry, right?
It's a very special moment. It's a very.
We have been together. We've been in plays together. We do a lot together.
We make movies together.
Yeah.
We go out to lunch together. That's my buddy. We go out to dinner together. You never see me without Andrail at an event. Now, you may see me without Lamar, but you will never see me without Andrail. That's very rare. Now, during the time of her surgery, I went solo, or I would take someone else with me, but that's my girl. She's always with me. Yeah. So
Very inspirational.
We've been friends for a very, very long time, and I'm so sorry I didn't mean to upset everything here today.
You know I get emotional. You know I get emotional.
But
I think it's just a very powerful thing in learning about God's word and how things get connected for a specific reason. And sometimes we don't know what the reasons are.
Right.
And sometimes it's hard to kind of question those. It's hard not to question it.
Right.
In our head, we want to.
Right.
We don't know why things happen,
But you know, the
but
Word
there's
of
a
God
reason.
tells us
Yep.
that the mystery lies with Him. You know?
Mhm.
The mystery lies with Him. We don't know the plans that He has for
Yep.
us because His thoughts are not our thoughts.
Yep.
You know, they're much bigger than ours. But I often walk into situations like that, and I don't mean to change the course of the show. But anyway, I was trying to, get her into part of this conversation. I just don't know what else to say. She's like the little sister, that I don't have. I have a little sister, but I think she may be a little bit littler than her, if there's such a word. If there's such a word, littler than her. A little bit smaller than her. Yeah, so. But that's basically how she and I got connected. Now, watch this. Zoom. Lamar, Andrail, and I got connected. We were doing a commercial for SS 57 Chevy, I think it was.
The feeling, yeah.
I didn't know how to get to the place. Andrail knew. She says, "Oh, don't worry about it. I'll drive you there." We get up there, and this funny-looking guy is like sitting at the end of the table where she and I are, right? And I'm saying to her, "Who's that little guy there, right?" I just stood up and took pictures. I got my navy blue hat on, my navy blue suit, board, everything. I'm ready to film this commercial. So they came around, you know how they do, taking your names and everything, and they wanted to know who she was. And I said, "Oh, she's my friend." She drove me in. They said, "Would you like to be in the commercial?" And she said yes. So from that day, she, myself, and Lamar got connected. And we've been together ever since. Lamar and I have done movies together. Most of the movies that I do with Lamar.
Mm-hmm.
I've done stage
like
play.
that, yeah.
I do the stage play with Andrail.
Yeah.
She's a monster. Oh my God, she's a monster in the stage play. You have got to see. Oh my God, it's like she make all the other actresses look like a raisin or something. Oh, the girl is bad. But that's how the three of us got connected. As far as the show, I was a part of another show with women, and the lady asked me if I would come and be on her show. But then there was this air of jealousy. It was an air of jealousy because I was making movies then. And every day, she sent me a nasty text message. And something in my heart said, be kind, be gentle, be compassionate when you respond to her. And every day I'd send her back the sweetest text when really I wanted to just choke her, you know. I'd send her back the sweetest text message. And finally, we went on air, and it was late at night, and I'm yawning. They could see me yawning with my mouth closed, right? This was, look, I was supposed to have 2 outfits. I never heard them say bring 2. I had 1 outfit. Another girl had an extra one. I squeezed into it because I was a little bit heavier than her. I don't know how I missed all that, because she and I had gone shopping and I had brought her an outfit to wear. I always brought her something to wear because she was less fortunate than me. Well, I get home and the next day she tells me I'm off the show. I thanked her. I was so happy. I thanked her. The same time, another friend of mine who had a magazine company wanted to interview the women because he was following me on the show. And I was like, oh my God, how am I going to tell him what happened? You know, we're like, so I says, no, I have to tell Lamar first. I said, I have to tell Lamar first, and he'll know just what to do to fix all of this.
How to fix it,
as far as talking to the guy at the magazine company. So I told Lamar. Lamar said, well, start your own show. No, Lamar, he didn't say it like that, but he told me to start my own show. I'm like this now, right? He wants me to start my own show. Where do I go? So I said to him, as long as you will co-host with me. And he says, yes. He was somewhere on a set filming a movie. But whenever I text him, he gets right back. So I said, okay. So then I emailed the guy from the magazine company, and I says, I'm no longer with those ladies, but I have something coming up, and we can still do the interview. We had another guy with us then. Love him, miss him. And the 3 of us went, and we did the interview with the magazine company.
That was the first one?
That was the first one with the magazine company. And it took me 3 days of praying, no sleep, 1 pot of coffee after the other, studying everything about TV, studying everything about the FC regulations with television and human resources and producers, executive producers, and how you pay them, and 3 days. 3 days. And at the end of that week, we shot the first Lois and Lamar film in Cumberland County at a studio down there. And I tell you, I was a nervous wreck. And it was the day after I buried my brother. And I said to Lamar, I says, Lamar, I can't do this. I says, I just buried my brother yesterday. And he looked at me and he said, the show must go on. And I was like, well, you're going to have to drive me there. I'm not driving to Cumberland County, you know. So he came over and he picked me up. And we drove to Cumberland County. And we shot 2 shows that night. Well, the first one, I wouldn't talk. So they set me in a closet. They set me in a closet. Mm-hmm. And they made a video of me speaking to them about the show and being sorry that I could not be with them on that first episode. I was there. I was in the closet watching them. You talk about nerves. I was in the closet watching it. I was like, girl, what you get yourself into? And the second show, I sat out there with them. Well, then the cameraman tells me, you cut it off too soon. You know, look, dude, don't yell at me. This is my show. I'm learning just like you, you know. And he kept telling me I was cutting the stuff off too soon. And finally, I got better, I think around the third or the fourth show. Lamar, always late. I don't care if he hears me, he's always late. He walks in the studio, and me and the other guy are in the middle of, we have finished or in the middle of an interview. And he walks across the stage, he said, and you have really opened up. And I said, oh, thank God I'm on my way, you know, because it's just been an amazing journey. As you look back over where you were, how you got across the bridge, who came over with you, you know, and these are the things that you can appreciate as you grow in the area of, you know, what you're doing. So
It's amazing. It's amazing. I do have a question that goes in with that, though.
Sure.
So how many episodes have you approximately done?
We've done 42 episodes. And a lot of it is because we went through some really, really bad times with grieving, both Lamar and I. Lamar is still grieving. He's still grieving. He lost his fiancée 2 weeks before their wedding. And the year before that, he lost his aunt, which he took care of. He took very good care of her. Me, the number is off the chart. It was like 2 and 3 on the same day for like a week. And it went on for like 6 or 7 weeks, nonstop. But I was good because, you know, I pulled my strength from God, so I was okay with all of them. And I got lazy. I got lazy. COVID, I think we was out for maybe a year with COVID though, but we really didn't film anything for like 2 years because after COVID, everything started falling apart in our families, and then she suffered some losses in her family. So I was kind of giving everybody time enough to regroup themselves and, you know, get themselves back together. And I got lazy in the process because if I didn't go out and do no scouting, we didn't have no guests. It was like these guys was following me. No, let me follow you sometimes. You know, it's not because Lois said it, you know. Get them, talk to me about them, and, you know, I have a way, of course, examine them to see, you know, if they're show worthy or not. Because a lot of times it's a gimmick. I had a guy one time, he was texting me, oh, he was so interested in coming on the show, and we were talking back and forth, and something said he's in jail. He's in jail. I knew he was in jail, but I let him get it off his chest. And I think the day before, he says, no, the distance is too far for me to travel. I thanked him, but I had booked someone else in his place because I knew this guy was incarcerated by the way he was talking to me. So you have to have a keen eye and that ear. You got to listen. I look and I listen. I don't say much when it comes to the Lois and Lamar show. I have a keen sense of hearing and seeing.
Kind of answered my next question, even just in that, because my question was going to be, after over 40 episodes, there's things you probably learn and take away. What would you say that would be the biggest thing, is listening and hearing each individual story? Or like, what would you say would be the takeaways of doing, you know, what are some of the things that I guess would you say would be similar in all the shows that you've done, and what are things that you feel that you've learned with each passing show?
It has given me patience with people.
Yeah, makes sense.
It has really, really given me patience with people. I have a special calm that comes over me when I'm talking to my guests because they're like this. You know, they want to meet Miss Lois, but they are so scared. And they don't know I'm just as afraid of them as they are of me sometimes. You know?
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes. So it has taught me to be very compassionate and
Yeah.
gentle towards my guests. As I tell everybody, I'm Sybil. I have 16 different personalities. So whatever situation I'm in, you know, I'll recharge that personality
It's like a chameleon,
and
right?
bring it out.
So-
I'm a chameleon, yes. That's one of the greatest things that I can appreciate because I tell people, they'll say, you know, Chris, you are so crazy. I say, yeah, but I'm not like this on the Lois and Lamar show. I'm a very different
So
individual.
it's a specific, but that goes into your background.
And when I'm on the show.
Being in movies.
No, because I have a reputation of being evil. People will tell you that girl is evil. She is so mean.
Is that true?
But
I've never, I know the tendencies are there, but
because I will speak out on things.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to speak out on things. Some people say, let it go. No. You're not going to do that to me, and I let it go. No. You know, we're going to take this wherever it has to go.
Explain, yeah.
But you're not going to do that to me. I do have a tendency of speaking out on things. I won't let nobody hurt me. Don't mess with my family. I'm coming after you. I'm that type of individual because I have a lot of love for my family. It doesn't matter who it is, aunt, uncle, cousin, sister, brother. Don't let Lois find out about it because the girl's crazy. That's what they'll say. I'm not crazy. I'm just showing my compassionate side
For your family,
towards my family. I've learned patience. I've learned how to listen more thoroughly. As far as what they're going to be talking about on the interview, we save that for the interview. That's where they get their time to shine on the show. I do ask them if they have any specific questions that they would like for us to ask them during the interview. And then I listen. I listen while, you know, they're here during the interview. So that's basically what I have drawn out of it. As far as my favorite one, believe it or not, I thought the musicians that I had interviewed and the way they played and all would be my favorite. My most favorite interview was with hospice. I called it Hospice 101. I've been working in medicine for 51 years. Never knew anything about hospice until the woman came on my show and reviewed things with us. And I tell you, I learned so much stuff that night. So I think that was my number one show. And Juice Capital will be number 2. At first I had them number 1, you know, with all the healthy stuff, but she's number 2. Hospice was fabulous. It was just fabulous. Yeah.
With that being said, what would you say would be advice for somebody looking to come onto your show? Because I'm sure you're always looking for individuals who love speaking about their hobby, their business, their interest. How would you, if somebody has something that they do really special or
How
a
would they
talent
reach
or
out
a
to
gift?
me to come on the show? Well, you can always message me at loisandamar@gmail.com. No one's going to check that message box except me. And I mean, you can go onto the webpage on Facebook, and you can also message me on that webpage. Nobody's going to take the messages off of that page but me. Now, it was like 6 or 7 of us on the team. They all are still administrators. Nobody's going to look at that message box except me. So, you know, they could feel comfortable sending me a message there or send it to loisandamar@gmail.com.
Like who would you say would be a good fit for your show? Like if somebody who has like a talent, a business, a hobby.
Lois will interview anyone. At
You
first,
heard that?
I'm open to all people.
Mm-hmm.
I will turn nobody away. At first, I thought I was interested in people who had a specific hobby or a specific something that they did and they wanted to be exposed because, say, Good Morning America or another show would not have them on there. So you come to the Lois and Lamar show and you sit and you talk with them and, you know, they give you a little interview and get you out there.
Mm-hmm.
But the beauty of it is, and it just blesses me, with the 40-some episodes that I did, all of those people who wanted to become an actor or an actress has gotten a role.
Great.
One of them is, I guess she's a multimillionaire now. And that blesses me that when they leave this show, they get something that comes back to them out of it.
It's very inspirational.
Yeah, so that's the good part about it. But we're open to anybody. If they just want to come and sit and
So
talk.
for anybody watching this video, you know who to reach out to. And as you mentioned, your email and the website, it just I always encourage that is not being afraid to speak and share their story with you.
Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
not be
We all
afraid
have
of
one.
cameras and not be afraid of that. It's just so good to be able to talk and get your story and share it with, you know, the world. And it's very
Yeah.
inspirational.
Thank you. And also, you know, if I'm not reachable, you can also reach out to Andrail, because he and I go back and forth with emails about the guests and the show. But I'm always there. I have two phones there right in front of me. And bing, bings, the lights will come on and I'll look. And the first thing I do is go to the email to see what it is. So I'm always available.
That's great.
Yeah. But it's nice to know I can use my boss as a backup.
I'm always here. We're a team together.
We're a
we
team
all
together.
got this.
Right, right. Yeah. So it's been an amazing time. It's been an amazing journey.
All of us, I feel like, are very excited to continue to film and interview and be part
Yes.
of other people's shows too.
Yes, bring them on.
This is
Bring them on.
cool episode.
I'd love to see
Yeah.
a nice mixture of individuals come on the show.
Yeah.
You know, it's just interesting to sit and talk with others and find out about them. It's very interesting. Yeah. So, you know, we just have to see where God takes us. You know, it's his show. When I created it, I put it in his care. I left it there, and wherever he leads and guides and drops it at, all we can do is follow him. Just follow him. Yeah. Okay, so I guess that concludes our interview or our little chat for today. And now we can get ready to get on to some real business. Andrail, do you have anything else to say?
There is one thing that I did want to say. My first time with the scouting, and
Yes.
I brought someone here. I gotta say that is a lot of work.
Yes, it is.
It's
When
a
you-
lot of work from the start when you find somebody until they sit down in the seat.
Yes.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I applaud
That goes
you
in
for that.
ahead
So she
beforehand.
says, you do all of this? Yes, I do it all by
It's a lot.
myself. I do it all by
It's a
myself.
lot.
Well, see, she had the opportunity of actually, was it one guest you did? Or two? One.
It
When
was-
you did Mackenzie?
Yeah, Mackenzie, that was
Yeah,
it.
and see, the younger guests, it's more to it than if you have a grown-up. Because now the parents are involved. And they have too many questions. But it's okay because you want to make sure your child is safe and that they're in good hands. So it was a thing back and forth with she and I with the questions, and I finally said, tell the mother to call me. I will be happy to answer any questions that she has. So that one was tough, but she scouted them. They were friends of hers, and I felt they would be more comfortable working with her. Now, she's been out there in this world with me, scouting people for the show. And you know, I sit back with my $10 glass of ginger ale, you know, and she'll have her Coke or whatever, and we'll get some hors d'oeuvres brought over to the table, and I start observing. To see who would be a good candidate for the show or who may be interested. Most of the time I've been pretty lucky. But she's had a taste of my honey, so now she sees what it's like. She don't want to do it anymore.
What happened? Well, I had an actress that was going to come on, right? And it didn't work. And luckily, I had someone else. It was like, you know, I was getting it all together. Like, okay, I don't have time for you, for the actress. I don't have time to go through anything. I'm under the gun, so I got to move on. I got to move on. And then I got Mackenzie, and I just did a lot of work on that.
You did, and you did an excellent job. You did an excellent job, and it didn't bother me. 1 o'clock in the morning, if she sent me a text, because she know I'm up. I don't go to bed till after midnight. You know, so she knows I'm up, so she'll text me, hey, Chris, and I know she ain't asleep.
All night owl.
Yeah, so it's been an interesting journey. And I know there's much more to learn, but I can remember one of the teammates that we had, she said to me one year, she says, you need to stop filming your show and do a podcast. And I said to her, do a podcast? I'm not doing that. That's a lot of work, you know? Because I can do my show randomly, whenever I feel like it, when that person is available. A podcast, weekly, couple a month. No, I wouldn't have the patience for that. I'd have to take off running. And then I said to her, I'll never forget it, I said, isn't that like being on the radio? And then now that I look at these podcasts, people are spending all this money to do these podcasts and stuff. It's a takeoff of what we're doing here. It's the exact same thing. It's like this guy's following this guy because he has this or he has that. It's the same thing that we are doing here. Somebody has to videotape it. You know, somebody has to videotape it and put it on the YouTube channel or wherever it's going.
Exactly.
So, I mean, it's just a name change. My son has a podcast. He has a podcast. I'm not going to say who it's connected with, but Philly Full Court. And he only does it on Spotify and Twitter. Philly Full Court is my son's podcast, and I never talk about it because he keeps his business over there, and like when I text him this morning to tell him where I was going to be, he's like, oh, Mom, a fun day. Yes, I keep mine over here. But I see no difference in the two because you need a videographer. You have to have someone to talk to. So, you know, so I'm glad that I stayed where I was at and didn't follow that. Because people are messaging me to go like their podcast, and I'm like, you know, nobody didn't go like mine.
Yeah.
You know, now I got 2 channels out there running. So come on. You know, so yeah. Well, if that's all, and we have nothing else to say to each other, I guess we can shut this down for today. You have anything else?
I think that's it. I appreciate you for having me on the show, too. Usually I'm behind the camera, but today I got to sit here enjoying the conversation. So.
I appreciate you, too, and I thank you publicly for bringing me into Rocket Entertainment and the layout that you have given me and all the love that you have shown to me since I've been here. I'd just like to say thank you for that.
You're very welcome. And thank you for both coming and continuing to bring the show here. And hopefully we can do many, many, many more with incredible people.
Yes, people all around the world from every nation. Come and join us. We'd be happy to have you. Okay, this concludes the showing of the Lois and Lamar TV show for today. We hope that you have enjoyed this conversation that we have had here at Rocket Entertainment, and we will see you the next time. Have a great evening and a wonderful night. Bye now.